Okay, it's peer review time for your essay prompt. So you've had a chance to write your essay with using your notes. So what we're going to do now is you're going to trade your papers with somebody near you, and you're going to go through their paper and make sure that they have everything that they're supposed to have in their essay. So the directions say to start your discussion with magma and include all the terms in the word bank in your paragraph. For each process, you must describe the process. If you only list the process, then you will not receive credit for it. So as you're doing your peer review of someone's paper, if they just list the process, don't give them credit for it because they're not doing them any favors. When their written final exam is graded, if it's not described, then they're not going to get credit for it on the final. So we want to make sure that we're practicing the way that we're going to be tested. So we're going to start with magma. So I'm going to go through and make sure that we get all the words out of the word bank as we do that. So magma, find it in there. When you find the word and they've described it correctly and the process correctly, I want you to circle that word in their paragraph. So they start with magma, go ahead and circle it. Magma is that molten rock that lies below the ground. As it rises up through the crust, if it cools and hardens, so if it goes through cooling, if they use a different form of the verb, like in this one it says cooling, so if they said cooled or cools, that's fine, still count it. If they say over here where it's compaction, if they say compacting or compacted, that's fine also. Sorry, so I'll start over again. So if magma cools and hardens underneath the ground, it is intrusive igneous rock. You have to say that it cooled underground to be intrusive igneous rock. If the magma came out of the ground and became lava and it cooled on the surface of Earth, it becomes extrusive igneous rock. So it's still cooling. The igneous rock is exposed to the elements and it starts to break down. So it goes through the process of weathering, which means that it's breaking down. Somehow they have to have said that weathering means that it's breaking down. And it breaks down into sediments, which are little pieces of rock. Once again, they have to have a description. You don't have to have exactly my words, but as long as it means something similar to what I'm saying, then it's fine. Those sediments then get moved through the process of erosion. And when they stop moving, that's called deposition. Usually because water has slowed down. After the sediments are deposited, they get compacted or squeezed together, forces out all the water and makes those particles closer together, which allows for cementation to occur, which is where the particles are stuck together. And now we have a sedimentary rock. That sedimentary rock can get pushed down into the crust and be exposed to a lot of heat and pressure. That heat and pressure will turn the rock into metamorphic rock. If that metamorphic rock continues to get pushed down into the crust, it's going to heat up and it's going to melt back into magma. Now, you'll notice at the end where it was heat and pressure, no, I didn't actually describe heat and pressure. Those are pretty common terms and they're not specific just to what we're talking about here. All the other terms, though, you need to explain what that means. So that's a good example of what it should sound like. Here's a not good example. Magma cools, makes igneous rock. Igneous rock goes through the process of weathering, erosion, deposition, compaction, cementation, becomes sedimentary rock, goes through heat and pressure, makes metamorphic rock, melts into magma. That is a list putting the terms in the right order, which is good that you would know the right order, but it doesn't describe the processes, which is what I want you to make sure that you know. Now, especially in the sedimentary rocks, remember there's those 5 processes. If they get them out of order, they're not right. So they have to be in the right order, and they have to describe their rocks. What I'd like you to do now is you're going to give those papers back to their owners, and then after you give them back, you're going to try this again. And this time you're going to try it again without your notes, in preparation for your quiz. The quiz over the rock cycle is this prompt. You have the test question already. On this one, you must type directly into, it's going to be a free response. You're going to have the word bank just like this. You need to know the rock cycle.